Hi, my name is Julia, and I'm going to share with you some early experiences, some of the first experience I had when I was growing up, having, now that I call myself a medium, now I know what that is. When I was 5 years old, I didn't know what it was, I didn't know what was happening. Um, some bad experiences I've had. My very first experience, I was 5 years old, and I went to Catholic school. That's a horror story all in its own, right there. Um, but I was in the church, and I was with like classmates, and I guess pretty much the whole school was there for this funeral. It was somebody who worked at the school. Um, I remember we were standing because the funeral procession was coming down the aisle to bring the casket outside. And walking behind the casket was the man who was supposed to be in the casket. Now, I'm 5 years old, so now I'm trying to get the attention of my teacher. And she's pretty much like, what do you, stop, you're crazy, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, you don't understand, because the guy made eye contact with me and smiled at me. And I know who it was. Um, so as the casket's being rolled down, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, no, 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 I gotta like grab this guy. So I take off, okay, and now the teacher is pissed at me. So I take off and to chase, to catch him, and like I couldn't find him. Like he was gone. I mean, there was a lot of people, walking out, but I was adamant I was going to find this dude, right? And no, poof, not there anymore. So of course I got in trouble. Teacher called my parents, whatever, dragged me into the principal's office. The principal was, I called her the witch in my mind because she was a nun and had a black cat in her office. I'll never forget that. But anyway, but she was mean. She was like terrible. Okay, they were all terrible. That's a whole nother story. I can go on and on about being locked in cold closets and thrown on the floor and all kinds of crazy shit. But um, so remember, she sat me down, and I just basically, I'm 5 years old. I'm just saying exactly what I saw, and they were making me out to be this horrible person, and I didn't quite understand why, because I didn't do anything wrong. Um, I don't remember what I told her. She pulled me into her office many times, and I don't remember now things I told her. There was something about her mother, and I don't remember what it was, and she got really angry at me. So whether I was picking up on things, I don't know, but I was not allowed to leave that office, and I was told that the devil was going to get my soul and all kinds of, interesting things. And at 5, you don't tell a 5-year-old things like that because that's crazy. It's scary. There was one nun that was really nice to me, right? She was like, I don't know why, but she was like the only one nice one who kind of pulled me aside. It was very nice. Okay. And she died. Of course, my luck. She fucking had to die. So she dies, and I will never forget. One of the mean nuns came over to me and said, "Who is going to protect you now?" Now, I was no older than 6 at the time, probably. And holy shit, I was like, that was that was terrible. It was horrible, horrible, the experiences I had in that fucking place. So anyway, one day I'll write my book. So yes, that was, it was just terrible. And, the kid, and then after a while, you're the one pulled into the office all the time. You're thrown down on the floor, made to say the rosary over and over again. Eventually the other kids are making fun of you because you're like the nutty one. Something's wrong with you. And so I really didn't have many friends at that early age. I would, during recess, I would go and like sit under this, I don't know, there was this one area I would go and hide and just sit and talk to myself or whoever. Maybe I was talking to dead people then. I don't remember. I had this one friend, actually, who, maybe one out of, you know, anybody else, I don't remember. But, yeah, it was terrible. It was a terrible time. And God, I would never send my kids to Catholic school. I'm sure they don't do the things they used to do then. And I'm not talking about just hitting you with a ruler, okay? That would have been nothing. Um, it was way worse than that. I was force fed at times because my stomach was a nervous wreck and I couldn't eat, because the way I felt when I went into school, and they would. Just one instance where I was force fed, and I'll never forget the one teacher pulled my head back by my hair and shoved a chocolate milk down my throat. And I remember vomiting, because like, oh my God, I almost choked. I mean, I don't know. And then they'd throw you on the floor and make you clean it up. And, because I was the devil. I was the devil to them. So, gee, why am I anti-religion? Gee, I have no idea. Anyway, so, yeah, I can go on and on. But anyway, so that's just that. So I just wanted to share that portion of my life with you and why I became what I am today, because I've learned over the years to work with what I have, whatever you want to call it, a gift, a curse, whatever. All right. That, I've pushed it away here and there as I got older. But I've always had experiences my whole life. So it was always there. Okay, my ability to see certain things or whatever. I mean, when I was a kid, I could see things more physically than I can now. I don't, when I say I see things, I see things in my mind's eye. Back then, when I was really young, I could like physically see things. So half the time, I didn't even question, who I was talking to or whatever, who I saw, because you're a kid, you're not, whatever. Um, I would tell my mom things about her parents that I didn't know how I couldn't have known because they died when she was 10 years old. And she was okay with that. She thought that was interesting, and that was so fine. So anyways, so this is just part one of my little chit chat to you about the early days. The early days. All right. So that's all I have to say right now. Maybe I'll do part two later on. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you. It's sharing day. I don't know.